1. Trump signs Genius Act, the future of crypto in America. 2. Historic passage of the Genius Act, what it means for cryptocurrency. 1. Trump signs Genius Act, the future of crypto in America. *** warning. The crypto landscape is about to undergo a seismic shift. ***. Imagine a world where the United States is the undisputed crypto capital of the planet. Sounds like a bold prophecy, right? Well, President Donald Trump has just taken a monumental step towards making this vision a reality. On July 18, 2025, he signed the groundbreaking Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins, Genius Act into law, ushering in a new era of federal regulations for digital currencies. But here's where it gets interesting. During a keynote address at a Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Tennessee, in July 2024, Trump vowed to implement regulations that would be written by people who love your industry, not hate your industry. This promise has now been cemented into law, with the Genius Act aiming to establish a clear and simple regulatory framework for dollar-backed stablecoins. ***. So, what exactly are stablecoins? ***. In simple terms, stablecoins are a type of digital currency pegged to a stable asset, such as gold or the US dollar. This linkage helps maintain a consistent price, making them an attractive option for those wary of the volatility often associated with cryptocurrencies. The Genius Act is packed with provisions designed to foster transparency and trust. For instance, it mandates monthly public disclosure of reserve composition and requires annual audited financial statements for issuers with over $50 billion in market capitalization. These measures are expected to bring a sense of security and stability to the crypto market. ***. The legislative journey ***. The Genius Act secured a decisive 308 to 122 vote in the House, following a 68 to 30 margin in the Senate in June. This bipartisan support is a testament to the growing recognition of cryptocurrency's potential. As Majority Whip Tom Emmer, Republican Minnesota, aptly put it, America's digital assets industry has been stifled by ambiguous rules. But President Trump and this Congress are correcting course and unleashing America's digital asset potential. ***. However, not everyone is celebrating. ***. 12 Republicans voted against the measure, citing concerns over potential conflicts of interest, particularly given Trump's promotion of a digital currency called Dollar Trump. Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat California, vehemently expressed her opposition, warning that the bill could pave the way for corruption and undermine privacy. ***. And this is the part most people miss. ***. Alongside the Genius Act, the House passed two additional cryptocurrency-related measures, the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. These laws are poised to further shape the regulatory landscape of digital assets in the U.S. ***. Now, it's your turn. ***. Do you think the Genius Act will indeed establish the U.S. as the crypto capital of the planet? Share your thoughts. Will this legislation spark a crypto revolution, or are there underlying concerns that need to be addressed? Let's discuss in the comments. ***. Contributors to this report include Liz Elkind from Fox News, Diana Stancy, a politics reporter with Fox News Digital, covered the White House. * 2. Historic passage of the Genius Act, what it means for cryptocurrency. Imagine a world where cryptocurrency is regulated, and the United States is at the forefront of this digital revolution. This may soon become a reality, as the House has passed a historic crypto bill, known as the Genius Act, after a dramatic right-wing rebellion. But here's where it gets interesting. The fate of this bill was uncertain, and its passage is a significant milestone in the world of cryptocurrency. The Genius Act is the first major crypto legislation ever passed by Congress, and it now heads to President Trump's desk for approval. The bill passed with a bipartisan vote of 308 to 122, with 206 Republicans and 102 Democrats supporting it. But what sparked the controversy, and how did it almost derail the entire process? On Tuesday, a dozen conservatives staged a rebellion, sinking a procedural vote to advance 3 crypto bills, including the Genius Act. This bill establishes a regulatory framework for the $250 billion market for stablecoins, a type of cryptocurrency tied to the value of an asset like the US dollar. The conservatives' rebellion brought the floor to a standstill, and it seemed like the bill's fate was in limbo. However, after a meeting with President Trump, the holdouts agreed to fall in line, and the bill moved forward. But drama unfolded during Wednesday's procedural vote, as a few holdouts initially voted against moving forward before dropping their opposition. The next procedural vote was held open for nearly 10 hours, as the holdouts sought to merge a broader market structure bill with legislation to ban a central bank digital currency. Republican Representative Andy Harris of Maryland, who leads the conservative House Freedom Caucus, said that the holdouts had made a deal with President Trump to package the 2 digital asset measures. However, this plan ran into opposition from those who wrote the legislation, and it upended what House Republicans had termed Crypto Week. The House Republicans had originally wanted the Genius Act to be married with the Clarity Act, a broader bill that would set rules for when a digital asset is considered a commodity or security. Combining the crypto bills would have sent the legislation back to the Senate and slowed the process. President Trump had pressed Congress to quickly pass the Genius Act as a standalone bill, saying it would make the U.S. a leader in digital assets. The conservatives pushed to tie the Clarity Act with the controversial Anti-Central Bank Digital Currency Surveillance State Act, which would prohibit the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency. They argued that the Senate's stablecoin bill and the broader market structure legislation were insufficient, because they would allow for a central bank digital currency, which they opposed. "We feel like we need to be dealing with all this at once," said Republican Representative Chip Roy of Texas, who helped stall the bill. A deal was ultimately made late Wednesday to tie the ban on a central bank digital currency with the must-pass annual defense reauthorization bill, and the holdouts again flipped their votes to allow the legislative process to move on. The Senate approved the bipartisan stablecoin bill last month, after experiencing hiccups caused by a Democratic revolt over concerns about the Trump family's business ventures involving crypto, and the potential that they could make the president vulnerable to foreign influence. The Trump family's crypto investments have increased their wealth by billions of dollars in recent months, as the administration continues to loosen the federal government's regulatory approach to the digital currency industry as a whole. The White House has denied that there are any conflicts of interest, and said that President Trump's assets are in a trust managed by his children. Democratic critics were also worried that the legislation did not contain strong enough provisions to protect consumers, the financial system, and national security. By passing this bill, Congress will be telling the world that Congress is okay with corruption, okay with foreign companies buying influence, Representative Maxine Waters of California, the top Democrat on the House Financial Services Committee, said Thursday. Democrats who back the legislation have argued that regulations are long overdue, even if the measure is imperfect. The question is, do you want some rules of the road or no rules of the road? Democratic Representative Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey said during floor debate. The broader market structure bill also passed with bipartisan support and now heads to the Senate. The legislation banning a central bank digital currency was approved largely along party lines. And this is the part that most people miss. The passage of the Genius Act is not just about regulating cryptocurrency. It's about the United States taking a leadership role in the digital asset industry. But here's the controversy. Does this bill go far enough in protecting consumers and the financial system? Should the US be allowing the creation of a central bank digital currency? These are questions that spark differing opinions, and we want to hear from you. Do you think the Genius Act is a step in the right direction, or does it fall short? Share your thoughts in the comments below.